Oh, hey millionaires in the making. Welcome back to another episode of This Time Next Year We'll Be Millionaires. I'm Remi Oduyemi, your guide on this rollercoaster ride from $0 to $1 million. Today, get ready for some real talk, insights, a dash of inspiration, and of course, the numbers game. Let's dive in. Hello everybody and welcome to my podcast. My name is Remi Oduyemi and I am the crazy person that you've probably seen on social media who threw out there to the world that she was going to go from $0 to $1 million in a year. Oh, I don't know why I do these things to myself, but I am her. This is she. And this is episode 1. And in this episode, I really just want to tell you about what I'm doing and who I am. And then the plan is every week, twice a week, I am going to release podcast episodes that are going to kind of be like my diary of the whole year on my journey to make my first $1 million. And I'm looking at posting these podcasts every Monday and every Thursday, right? There's going to be drops every week. And I'm saying Monday and Thursday because I know there's going to be so much content because there's so much to do. There's so much to do to create the right offer for the right person and then, create it, build it, market it, sell it, all of those things. And there's just going to be hundreds and hundreds of steps to do. And I really want to take you with me on this journey and go through this whole process with me. There is going to be zero gatekeeping. I know that there are a lot of coaches online that don't often like to show behind the wizard's curtain and how things are done. And I'm sharing everything, like every part of this, the raw and the rough around the edges and the highs and the lows and the ups and the downs and the feelings and the emotions and some weeks I'm going to be high energy like I am right now because it's all new and it's all exciting, and some weeks I'm going to be a miserable cranky cow because that's just my nature. And I should tell you a little bit about me which might help and put things into context. There's a dog barking. Well, okay, firstly, I'm very neurospicy, so there are going to be lots of squirrel moments where I'm talking about one thing and then I go off on a tangent. But to be fair, there is genuinely a dog barking outside. But expect lots of neurospiciness from me, so let me tell you that right out the gate. You will hear my dog barking from time to time. You will hear my child come into the room at times. I am a single mum with absolutely no support around me, and life is crazy. I'm trying to run a small business from home and life be getting crazy. And as I say that, I now have to get up and open the door to let my dog out of the room. There we go. Dog needed letting out. So there we go. A proper introduction to my crazy bonkers life. But the one thing I am doing is keeping it real around here. Like, I want to, in 12 months' time, be able to come onto this podcast and say to you all, I've made $1 million. I am now a millionaire. That's what I would love to happen. And I really want to take you with me on this whole entire journey from beginning to end. I am just going to my little notes in my page because my notebook has just been on fire lately. I am going to take you through every single step of what I'm doing, from the idea of the thing that I'm going to sell, how I got the idea, what exactly I'm creating. You're going to see me mapping out this thing that I'm going to sell that is going to make me $1 million. You are going to literally be on my shoulder watching me build it out. The modules, the lessons, the sales pages, the products. And as I'm doing this, I want to share with you why I'm doing these things, how I'm doing these things, because I know by me sharing this process and being open with you all about this, that this is going to genuinely help somebody else who is wanting to start their business or grow their business online. And so I'm being fully transparent with everything I am doing, even down to marketing, like all of the marketing pieces that I'm going to be creating to sell this thing that I'm creating. I'm going to share all of you why I'm writing what I'm writing, how I'm writing it, what my call to actions are, how I'm selling this. I'm going to share with you all of the numbers, all of the results as they come in. Like, there is nothing in terms of creating an online business that I am going to withhold from you. You're going to get absolutely everything. And then the other thing that I want to say to you is that everything I'm doing is not going to be perfect, right? I mean, let's have a look at my baby. You out there?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm recording a podcast. Can you give me 2 secs? I won't be long. See, I told you, my life is full of interruptions. Everything I'm doing is not going to be perfect, right? If you look at the podcast cover, like, I just made this in like 5 minutes in Canva, right? I took a picture of me, put some words on it, and I'm like, yeah, there we go, that'll do. Now, as this goes on and we move through this, I might come back and perfect it later. But for me, I'm all about taking imperfect action so that I actually get things done. I'm not going to make $1 million in a year if I wait until everything is perfect, that everything is in place. Like, it's just not going to happen. And this is what I teach my clients who come to work with me, is that sometimes, when you wait for things to be perfect, what happens is you just don't get into momentum. You just don't get building. And actually, whilst you're sitting there waiting to perfect your website or your sales page, you're not selling and you're not making money. So I'm taking imperfect action throughout this whole journey with everything I'm doing, and I'll come back and improve it later, right? So if you're looking for like a perfectly planned out, organized, an organized person to show you how to make $1 million in a year, this is not the place to be. I am a messy, neurodiverse human being, and that's part of my magic, but it just means I can get flowing and I can get into this. So what I will tell you in this first episode, and I'm going to try and keep these episodes to under 10 minutes, this one is going to be a little bit longer, is that I know the offer that I'm going to create. And so I'm going to take you through this process of how I got the idea, why I think this is going to work, and what the outcome of the offer is going to be that I'm going to be selling. And I'm going to take you through all of that. So keep tuning in every Monday, every Thursday, and I'll be dropping more and more information for you. So I've just got some ideas here of where we are going with this podcast. So this episode is the intro to me and what I'm doing. The next episode I'm going to drop for you is where I got this idea from. And then after that, I'm going to share the why I'm doing this and why I want to earn $1 million in a year. So those are your next 2 episodes that you can look forward to. And before I wrap, I just wanted to, because the purpose of this episode was to tell you a little bit about me, and I haven't really done much of that. I just want to share with you who I am as a person. So I'm in my late 40s, let's say. I am a single mum, and my daughter's dad took his own life when she was 3. So her dad isn't around at all. And I don't have any family support. So, very disjointed family. My mum died a year ago. My dad lives in Nigeria. And so I exist on my own, and my friends are my family and help whenever they can. I am a born and raised Londoner. You can probably hear that by my lovely South London drawl that I have. But I currently live in the north of England, northeast, I think I am. I'm in Yorkshire. I'm up north. Because houses are cheaper up here. That's the truth. I've bought a house way cheaper than I could ever buy in London. And so now we live up north and kind of like it. And 2 years ago, was it 2? No, it's in 2020. Yeah, just over 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer, blood cancer. And so the offset of that is that I do live with a chronic condition, but also chronic fatigue. So to cut a long story short, I'm always tired. But I don't know how to describe this thing that I have inside of me. I am always tired, and I pretty much live it with pain in my body at all times, from various operations and things that I've had done and illnesses that I have. So I'm always in some form of pain. But all of that aside, I have, and I don't know what this is or what it's called, and maybe if you know, you can comment under the podcast, or, wherever you comment when you're listening to a podcast, or if you're watching on YouTube. But I have this inner energy. That's what we're going to call it. Inner energy that propels me forward. So I'm constantly battling with a body that is tired and a brain that says keep going. That's the only way I can explain it. And so people who often meet me, or a lot of my clients that I've worked with in the past, they will always say to me, oh, I forgot that you were ill, because your energy is so strong. Your energy is really high. So I just wanted to share that. I have this inner drive, this inner energy that even when I'm flat on my ass, exhausted, worn out, done with the day, my brain is still going at 900 miles an hour, wanting to do stuff, wanting to create, make, do. I just am built that way, even though I'm inside of a body that just wants me to lie down and sleep all day. So this is the constant battle that I live with. And it's why I want to create a business for myself and I have been trying to build this over the last 2 years, if I'm being completely honest, a business that allows me to make good money, but allow me to work as little as possible so that I can manage my physical energy. I hope this is making sense. And so, I really try to teach, and I believe in this whole, earn more, work less lifestyle, which I've been trying to craft for the last few years in my business. So an example of this is that I stopped doing one-to-one coaching because, I would have a full diary every week. I'd be at a desk all the time, and it just made me tired and lethargic and unhappy. And so I changed the way I work to doing group programs where I can help 20 people in a room at once versus having to do like 20 individual appointments with individual people, which was just killing me, just literally taking the life out of my body. So I have adapted the way in which I work, and I love the way I work. And this new thing, should we just start calling it the $1 million course? Because that's where I was going with what I wanted to call this podcast, the $1 million course. The thing I am creating is a hybrid of being a structured program and a mastermind. So there's a little preview for you of the thing that I am creating. And we will reveal more about what's involved with that as we go through this process. But that's what I'm creating. And that really taps into the way that I like to work with my clients, as in I will give you instructions and training videos and all the tools you need to do the thing and show you how to do it. And then I will support you in a group setting to get that thing done. So that's the really cool thing that I'm creating. But it's not your normal mastermind, and it's not your normal type of course that you've seen out there. This is something really epic, and I can't wait to share it with you. So that was a lot about me, actually. I was going to say a little bit. That was a lot about me. Before I go, I want to just talk about some of the things that I'm going to be doing in this podcast. Any people that help me out along the way, I will be revealing names. I'll be sharing websites. I will be as supportive to everyone who's supporting me along this journey. I'm not saying you have to support me, by the way, but along the way, there are going to be people that I need to bring in to do things and to help with things. For example, maybe a copywriter to look at the sales page that I'm going to create. I'm pretty good at writing sales pages, but I know there are people who are better skilled at doing those type of things. So there might be a copywriter that comes in on board. I have some friends that help me in my business as well, so they'll get some shout outs. And I wanted to share how we came up with, I say we came up with the name. It wasn't we, it was somebody else who came up with the name of this podcast, which is This Time Next Year We'll Be Millionaires. So I've been bursting at the seams for the last 2 days to talk to somebody about this idea that I was wanting to do, right? Go from zero to $1 million in a year. So my first call was to one of my coaches. He's a Reels coach. His name is Travis Brown. And I just said, Travis, here's my idea. This is what I want to do. And I sent him the idea, and he was like, yeah, this is a pretty cool idea. And then he helped me script out some of my reels, the first 2 reels that are going to be, they're either out now or they're coming out, depending on whenever you listen to this. And so I want to shout out Travis for being the ideas man who listens to my wacky ideas and makes them better. So thank you to Travis for being that soundboard. And then today, I called one of my friends who also works in my business, Kelly, and I was like, Kelly, I've got this idea. And so proceeded to tell her the idea, and she was on speakerphone and her lovely husband was in the background, Steve. Steve is a legend. I need to get Steve on this podcast at some point. Steve is an absolute legend of a human, and I think he's great. And the line went a bit funny, and all I heard was Kelly saying, no, Steve, she can't call it This Time Next Year We'll Be Millionaires Rodders. And she started laughing, I started laughing, and Steve was laughing. And we were all fooling about laughing. And then I was like, oh, hang on. There might be something there. This time, next year, we'll be millionaires. Now, if you don't know, this is a quote from a BBC TV show called Only Fools and Horses. And it's a really well-known scene. You can go and YouTube it or Google it or whatever, and it will come up for you. But we were just howling, laughing, like, oh, that's ridiculous. And then suddenly my brain was like, bing! That's not a bad shout. And so now we have a podcast called This Time Next Year We'll Be Millionaires. So I want to say thank you to the lovely Steve Hallett for bringing his funny wisdom to our conversations and serving me up an absolute doozy. And I love it. And it says exactly what I'm hoping to achieve is that this time next year, that I will be a millionaire. And I want to really invite you to come on this journey with me and just follow along and cheer me on. And if you have any ideas or if you know people that can help, like, send them my way. I have a website, which is www.onlinebusinesstemple.com. That's where all of my shizzle resides, so you can go and check that out if you want to. And I'm on Facebook predominantly. Just go and look for Remi Oduyemi, add me as a friend, let's get in touch. I have a business page on there. The Online Business Temple page is on there. But I'm also on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. You can find me in all of those places. If I've got the time and the energy, I'll add it to the show note, but don't wait on that. Just being honest with you, that might happen one day, but it probably won't be today. But I am findable on pretty much all of the social media platforms. So anyway, I think this is enough for episode 1. I want to thank you for listening. We're 22 minutes in, and my promise is that future episodes will just be like 10 minutes, like really short and sweet, easily consumable content that you can tuck into and follow along the journey as I go from being a single mum to being a single mum millionaire. I mean, a lot can change in a year. I might find a fella along the way as well. Who knows? Any eligible bachelors out there? Slide in the DMs. So yeah, in a year's time, I might be engaged to a millionaire. Who knows? Anything's possible, right? But definitely a millionaire. That's what we're aiming for. I think it's totally possible. I want to bring you along for the ride. You'll get something out of this. You'll be learning every week, and hopefully you'll be cheering me along every week and just seeing the process of how somebody grows a online business from 0 to $1 million, I think is going to be a fascinating journey. So once again, thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next episode. All right, bye.